Hi there, Titans, and welcome back to another Titan Academy video. Today we'll be talking about how to create subcomponents for your power table. We'll show you how you can create table subcomponents so that you can drill down to the related child records of your parent record that you're triggering from. And we will also show you how you can create an iFrame within your table as a subcomponent to either display data or update data in Salesforce. Let's get started. So the first thing that we want to do is, of course, add our table. I've already added a table. And we will just add a field here. And in this case, and you can do this in a number of ways, you can add a subcomponent to a field or to any other field type that you select here. So in our instance, I'm going to write contacts, make that the column title as well, and I'm going to configure a component. What I'm going to do here is bring all of the contacts that are under my account. Now, the component type that I want here is table, and the object I'm looking for is contact. And automatically this condition will be built for me, which essentially says that the account ID lookup field sitting on my contact needs to equal the power table value. Now, just to back this up a few steps, we can see that the value of my power table is the account ID. So when I click on a specific record and I drill down to the contacts, sorry, let's go back here. What will essentially happen is it will read the power table value of that row, compare it to a contact with that same account ID, and bring it into the table. All right, now I'm just going to bring in first name and last name to keep it simple. And we'll go ahead and apply, and let's see how this looks. Okay, so I'm going to find an account here. Let's say this account right over here. And I can see that this account has one contact. If I try another account, I can see that I have a bunch of contacts under this account, and I can select any account I want here, and it will show me the relevant contacts for that account. Now let's go one level deeper, and you can go many levels deep here, but we'll just do 3 levels today. And let's also bring in so we're looking here at our contact table. And I want to drill down one more level, and this time we'll just drill down next to first name here. Again, you can configure the subcomponent on any of the fields types that you bring into your table. Let's configure it here on first name, and we'll say here that I want to configure component table again. This time it's going to be cases. And it's essentially saying that I want my contact ID to equal my power table value, the same thing that we saw earlier. And we'll just bring in the subject, and I don't know, maybe the case number as well. Okay. All right, so we can see that we have many contacts, and under a particular contact, we also can see that we have a case. Okay, so you can really have tables within tables here. Of course, we can make our table a lot bigger so that it's easier to see this, and you get a better view of those subcomponents. And you can also use things like auto grow so that it grows based on the data that's coming back. Okay, excellent. So now that we've seen how to drill down, in this case, 3 levels from account to contact to case, I want to show you one other cool thing that you can do here with subcomponents. And we're going to add another field here, and let's call this one create contact. Okay, and I'm going to create an iFrame. And instead of choosing table, by the way, I can also choose chart. We won't be demonstrating that today, but you can also bring in charts that are relevant, maybe all the opportunities under your account, something like that. In this case, I'm going to bring in iFrame. And your iFrame can be an external URL, a chatbot. In my case, I'm going to use an internal page for my project. And I have a page already set up to create a contact with a simple form creating a contact. And the only thing I need to do is make sure that I'm associating this contact with a account. And I have a variable on the page, and I'll show you this in a moment, that holds my account ID. And the reason that I need to pass this, and I'm going to pass this from the power table value, and the reason I need to pass this account ID is because, let me just get out of here to be able to show it a little bit better. These are 2 separate pages, and I'm going to use my create contact page to create my contact. And in Titan, pages do not have access to the data from other pages. So I either need to use a global variable that I can use across all pages, or like we just did, I can set parameters and pass the account ID from the value from the particular row that I'm selecting to this variable on my create contact page. And then I can use this variable to populate the account lookup on the contact. I'll show you my push very quickly here. I am pushing a contact, and in my mapping, I can see I'm using that account ID variable to populate my account ID to associate it with the account that I just clicked on. And I'm using these other fields to pass here. Now, the last thing you need to do is make sure that your iframe is of an appropriate size. So what I'm going to do in order to ensure that, I'm going to head over here to styling, and I'm going to look for my iframe. Okay, here's my iframe styling, and I'm going to go ahead and use the height to be, I don't know, maybe 400, and the width, we'll let it auto resize. Let's go ahead and give that a preview and see how it looks. Excellent. So I can see my form right here, and I'm going to be able to create my contact. The last thing I just want to make sure is that I've actually added my push to my button over here. It looks like I have not. So let's add that. And we'll just do our contact create here. I'll refresh. Excellent. I'm going to find one that doesn't have a lot of contacts, so it'll be easier for us to see. And what I'm going to do here is fill in. So first of all, actually, if we want to look in the debug, we can already see that this account ID has been passed. And if I were to look at a different record, I can see I'm passing a different account ID here. So let's check this one out again. And I'll say, okay. And I'll go ahead and create my contact. Now I didn't add a refresh to my table, which is a nice thing you can add. You can also add a collapse to collapse your iframe. We showed how to do that in a separate video. But now if I look at the contacts under Dickinson Place, I can see that I have another contact called Barry Manny. And that's how it's done.